Welcome to Explore English Churches, and today we are in the village of Renhold, which is on the outskirts of Bedford, in Bedfordshire, England, and we've come to explore All Saints Church. Most of the church is actually modelled around about the 14th century, and the first rector, a chappie called Renhold, is actually listed in the church for the year 1229. Now, whether the village actually gained its name from that rector, I don't know, but if Renhold, they aren't too dissimilar. Let's take a wander up. The tower, I believe, was added in the 15th century. And you see the small door there, which leads probably to a stairway, which goes all the way to the top of the tower. Let's pop in and see what we find. Here we have the Renhold kitchen, which sells goodies, and they go towards the church and the church restoration funds. So if you're ever this way, buy some goodies. It's quite a grand looking church. And again, I like the stonework in here, and also the arches. They look rather fantastic. The roof is very high. And here, which is a little bit bright with the sun, we have this window here, which is actually dedicated to the Wootton family, who actually lived in Renhold. It's rather pretty. And behind me, which sits underneath the tower, we have a rather grand organ. The first thing you notice when you come into the church is this tiny little font, and I believe it's referred to as a drum font. And I also believe that it's actually about 13th century. Quite a sweet thing, and an unusual one to come across. Let's take a wander down. Look at those colours reflecting from the stained glass window onto the back wall. Isn't that magnificent? That's really nice. And here's the window where the reflection's coming from. Again, another, oops, that's me, you know me, I'm always falling over. This one here, it's dedicated to Peter Henry Joyce, who was the church warden for 38 years. That's rather pretty. Very, very pretty. And he passed away in 1988. Let's take a look. Well, I do like the way that actually shines on there, and you gain those beautiful colours. Let's take a look down the back of the church. Here on the right hand side we have this altar tomb, which is dedicated, or it's of Edmund Watie, and this dates back to 1518. Look, they still have the nativity set up for Christmas. How sweet is that? Always love to see these in the churches for Christmas. Yeah, how sweet is that? I especially like the camel at the back. Underneath here is the actual brass, which you won't be able to see because the nativity is actually sitting on top. That's very nice. I don't know anything about this chappie called Watie, but obviously he was someone very important in order to be able to have such a grandiose memorial. I see that there's 3 plaques there, but there's no shields on them. I don't know. There's probably a good story behind that. We have this massive monument up here. This is basically to Beecher. And we have several other monuments on the walls. Another one there to Elizabeth Beecher. Yes. And we have one here on the left hand side to a chappie called Robert Graham Polhill, who was a lieutenant in the 95th Regiment, and he died in 1854 at the age of 26. I always like to see the poppy heads. There's a few more monuments there to the Beecher family. They was obviously a very prominent family in the district. Oh look, we have a set of steps. Let's take a walk up the pulpit. Oops, there I go again. That's better. It's rather pretty, as I say. I do like the stonework. If I come round and show you where the altar is, and again you can see those wonderful colours from the stained glass window reflected onto the back wall. Very pretty. There's another window over here which I want to show you, which is very interesting. It's only a tiny little piece of stained glass, but it is quite interesting. They call this the Picot window, and if I can zoom up, apparently, if I can zoom up, it's that tiny little piece at the top there. Oops. Which seems to have like 3 sides on it. And that dates back to 1336. I'll see if I can zoom in a bit closer. If you think that's been there since 1336, that's quite amazing. I've checked the pillars to see if there's any graffiti on them, but I can't find any. More's the pity. And we have down the bottom there a very, very nice stained glass window. The church is quite airy, it's quite bright. Let's have a look at this window here. That's beautiful. Whatever a man shall soweth, that shall he also reap. That's what that reads. If I can zoom in. And that's it was given in memory of the members of the Simons family who lived in the parish. That's rather pretty. There's no date on it. Oh, he's a pleasant looking chappie, isn't he? And we have another one sitting here. I'm always fascinated to see these. It appears to be over here. Oopsie daisy, that's me again. I can't quite make that out. It's obviously been filled in. And I'm wondering if there was a staircase. Ah, that's what it would have been. Now I understand. There would have been there, and across here, probably many years ago, a rood screen. It's bright, isn't it? And I'm guessing that that there would have been the steps to it. We have lots of these little plaques, tiled plaques on the wall throughout the church. Each one depicting another scene. And if you look at the stonework, how smooth it is, it's quite incredible. Here we have a list of the rectors, and as you can see, the first one there dates back to 1229. I always like to see these in the churches because it actually gives you some idea of the history of the church through the dates itself. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed this brief tour of All Saints Church in the tiny village of Renhold in Bedfordshire, England. Please like, subscribe, share, and watch many more of my other videos. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.